Youth Forum, a place where we shape the next generation, a place where we discuss issues like relationships, career and business advice, education and religious matters, and much, much more. So, sit back, watch, and be informed. Your host is Laban Bithi.
It's another interesting moment that we have you. It's another interesting time that we are once again bringing this show to you. It's always JM Talk Forum, where we bring to you great, innovative ideas, where we bring to you good, substantial content, where we bring to you quite elaborate framework on how to get empowered, on how to get fueled, or now to reach out to your greatest potential. My name is Laban Bithi. I am your host tonight, and we are ready to bring great substance to you. Wherever you are, remain tuned. Share to your social media platforms. Share to your friends. If you are a parent, share to your children, and ensure that this knowledge reaches to as many people as possible. Wow. So welcome so much. Yes, back to my panelists for today. Guys, it's an interesting time that we are having today. It's an interesting moment that once again, it's been quite a while for us to meet as a team like today. It's been a couple of months, and we appreciate for us finding time to come and do what we always love to do. So thank you so much, guys. There are people who have not even known our names. Good to introduce ourselves so that them that are watching us, they'll be able to know which people they are listening to. So I begin from my right. Say your name to the audience for them to be able to know who you are.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Isaac Itana, as usual. It's always so fulfilling to be here, just having that time to share with everyone who is listening to us. So welcome, and be ready to learn and get something from this conversation today.
Well, thank you so much, Isaac. We appreciate your continued effort to be available and to continue steering forward this purpose. So, welcome, my friend.
Thank you. I'm glad that we are meeting again in this set.
Yeah.
It's been a while, like you said. My name is Martin Donyo, and it's a pleasure to be here and to have an opportunity to share with the world pertaining things that are important.
Yes.
And that are very close to most people's hearts.
Wow, that's interesting, Martin. Thank you so much. It feels good to be back again together. And it's an awesome moment for us all. Yeah. So how have you been, guys?
Great.
You should tell us. You're the one who's been away for a while.
I have not been away. We've been
you should,
all over here.
because now at least there's some good progress. Your fingers now almost look like ours, eh? It's good that you came back on this other side.
Wow, it's been an
And
interesting
congratulations.
I think
Thank
you
you
should
so
tell
much.
the viewers where he's
He should be the one now giving feedback where he has been.
I was on a commercial break. I took a commercial break with my friend here also. And we are happy to be back.
Although he was around, you are the one who...
We are newly weds, and we are fueled to continue doing the purpose that we are supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Today I wanted us to get to discuss about something. You see, our key purpose has been focusing much on the youth, and we are too much committed to reach the young people, and for the young people to reach their greatest potential. Because it's a generation that if it is not watched closely, they tend to perish very fast. And our theme has been waiting on God, but we've broken it to different headings or different topics. And today I wanted us to focus about building capacity. It is like a second session that we are doing for building capacity, that will be able to reach out to as many young people, as many parents, as many students, as many teachers as possible, so that somebody will be able to understand what it is all about, and how it is important. Yeah. So that is the theme, or rather the topic of today that we are discussing about. So in depth of this understanding, that is what you'll be helping us to understand all about this. So welcome so much, and I believe, I know your capabilities, and I know you have great content for this discussion. Yes. So Martin, what's your understanding on building capacity? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is capacity? Without being very technical and necessarily looking at the dictionary meaning,
yeah, sure.
we are simply looking at the ability to perform a particular task, being up to the challenge, being up to the task.
Yeah, sure.
That is capacity. So that regardless of whatever thing that comes your way, then you are able, through all spheres, to handle that particular task or challenge, or to even make the best of an opportunity.
Sure.
Now that is what I'd simply refer to as capacity. The ability to match up to something. That thing can be an opportunity,
yes,
a task, or a challenge. Are you able to handle it in the best way possible?
Yeah.
Then that is capacity. And of course, capacity is built over time. And that's why you find that if you take time on a particular thing, then within a while we start calling you an expert in that line. Why? Because you have built capacity in a particular area.
Yeah, for some time.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. So that means there is capacity, and there is now the persistence building of that capacity.
Now the building comes with time. Somebody once said, I can't remember who, that it takes, I think, 10,000 hours for you to be an expert at something.
Yes.
If you do your math, I think it comes to around 10 years. So that if you persistently do something within a prolonged period of time, you have a higher probability of becoming better at doing it.
Yes.
And acquiring the skills and the abilities that one requires to perform that task or to face that challenge or to maximize on an opportunity to the very best.
Yeah.
And that's why, if I'd use an example, if you look at the ability of a child who walks to school on day one, and the young man that walks out of the school system at whatever level of graduation,
Yes.
they are two different people.
Sure, sure.
Why? Because capacity was built over time. So that that person was exposed to different challenges, and they built 1 + 1, which was a very big problem at some point, becomes so easy.
Yeah.
Then you find 1 × 1. Then you find 1 divided by 1. That is building capacity.
And even their capabilities outside, they become a bit different. You
Yes.
can't do a comparison between the class 8 person and the one who's doing it.
Yes.
Well, Isaac, so in the same discussion, I know you might have a different definition or maybe understanding of building capacity. You can be able to bring it in a more elaborate way, please.
I don't think whether I have a different one, but I want to build on, though it's not the capacity, I want to build on what you just said about capacity being just simply ability.
Yeah.
And when you talk of building the capacity, it means increasing that ability, growing the strength, strengthening, broadening the capacity, or broadening your ability to do something.
It's like you're doing a self-discovery of
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
And I'm loving the topic because one thing, when you're talking of capacity building, we're talking of growth,
Yeah, sure.
personal growth, growth of just entirely everything, to be able to accommodate more responsibilities, more challenges. So it's a very good topic and a very timely topic, especially for the young generation, because we are talking about today and tomorrow. That it also talks about the change of versions. That I want to become a better version of myself.
Yeah.
So how do I become a better version of myself? It's by building capacity. It's by developing myself, increasing the ability that I have so that I may become better than who I am today. So that's why we bring the aspect of growth in the topic that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I've noticed in institutions, there is a vision, there is a mission, and we have also core values in that institution. Now, as we talk about now building capacity, I believe there is a vision that I am geared towards as I discover myself. And for me to reach there, I must embrace certain core values to be able to get, like you will get a company whereby you have core values like professionalism, integrity, discipline, and all that. So in this now field of building capacity, what are some of the core values that are embedded in these discussion that can fuel me to reach my full potential towards my self-discovery? Yeah, maybe Martin.
That's quite a technical question, because capacity is quite broad.
Yeah, sure.
It cuts across all facets of life.
Yeah.
But then, regardless, I think there are things that are important, no matter the specific capacity you are building.
Yeah.
And I think discipline is very key.
Yeah, sure.
Even for bodybuilders, even for people watching weight, anything, discipline is very core as a value.
Yes.
Because it will keep you on the track.
Yeah.
And it will always, you become your first yardstick. You know, this is what I want to achieve. I'm going to push myself to achieve it no matter what.
Yeah.
Of course, there's hard work.
Yeah.
Because so often life will throw what we call curveballs. It will try to show you that maybe you are not serious enough, you're not smart enough.
Yeah.
And that is life, because only then do we discover our inbuilt abilities. When they say that necessity is the mother of all inventions. When we are put under very hard and difficult moments, that is when most of us will discover our very best. So hard work, of course, getting out of your comfort zone, pushing yourself to the very limit. In most cases, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But it's something that is very key. So for me, I think discipline, hard work are very key for any person that is keen on building capacity. Of course, there are so many others.
Martin, how can we bring self-awareness now on these as discipline? How can I know that I'm supposed to embrace discipline towards my growth, or rather towards my self-discovery? It's important, but now how can I embrace it?
Now, self-awareness, you bring up something that is very key. Self-awareness is a very important component of life.
Yeah.
Why? Because you are simply analyzing I as Martin.
Yes.
Not I as a man, because it could be all men are supposed to do this. But now I as Martin, a man, but now very specific. What am I able to do?
Yeah.
And that now, the self-awareness goes hand in hand with what we call self-evaluation. You know what we were taught, the SWOT analysis? What are my strengths? What weaknesses do I face on a day-to-day basis that I cannot avoid? So I have to find a way to go around them or through them. What are the opportunities around me? And of course, what are the threats? So self-awareness will be guided by that self-evaluation. If, for example, I'm ready, a good example is for the people that are vertically challenged and they want to join the disciplined forces. But some of them get in there somehow. And by the way, without even corrupting.
And some of them, they are very short.
Yes.
And you find
you know, and sometimes we think they all corrupted their way. Some of them, no.
Yeah.
So it's a limitation for that person. So they have to find a way after creating self-awareness. Now you evaluate and see, my height does not allow me to pursue what I want. So how do I get myself in there anyway? You see? So self-awareness is very key. Because one, you appreciate who you are. And it's not really a matter of competition against the world really, but it starts with competition against what I can be. You know, what I can be. And it's one area that I think we can discuss, because that's the biggest challenge that I find with most youths today. In the age of social media, we are really struggling to fit. We are really struggling to outdo one another. We are really struggling to look better than somebody, simply because we lack in self-awareness.
And maybe why is it so important, Isaac, for somebody to know himself or herself well towards the journey now for self-discovery? Why is it important for me to know myself?
I'll come to that. Let me add something on what Martin said. When you talk of capacity building, you build a capacity towards a certain goal.
Yeah, sure.
If you are a teacher today, let's say a high school teacher, and you want to be promoted to probably college and university, there's something that you need to do. and you don't go to be trained as a pastor, or probably as somebody else that will not probably. Another aspect, other than the discipline, of which I'll talk about discipline, is teachability. How teachable are you?
Yeah.
Because when you're talking of capacity building, it means of learning.
Yeah.
It's one way of building capacity, is learning. Sitting, getting something new to develop your mind.
Acquiring skills.
Yeah, acquiring skills to make a better version of yourself. Now, coming back to the question that you asked, why is it important to know yourself or to know what you can do? Regarding the topic we're talking about today, you cannot build what you don't know. So you need to first know what you have, so that now you can begin to grow it. Who you are today, so that you can say, tomorrow I want to become a better manager. I'm a manager, just a mere manager, but I want to become a better version of myself. You are just an employee, probably an accountant. Tomorrow I want to become a senior accountant. What's the difference between you today and tomorrow? It's what you gain, the knowledge you have. So, and this is what you're going to build, what you have. Then you begin to build it slowly. As I said, it takes time. It's not a one-day thing. It's something that takes time to be built gradually, day by day. Bring this in, remove this. Is editing. Get some part of you that, and put it away. Bring something else, so that you may become better you.
Wow. It's JM Talk Forum, where we bring to you innovative ideas on education, ideas in different levels. And remain tuned even as we continue this discussion. It is a discussion that I believe and I know it is going to reach so many people. Keep sharing. Just remain tuned even as we come to the closure in a short while. Well, welcome back, guys. You see, we've discussed about self-awareness in relevance to building capacity. We've discussed about self-discovery. But it's quite alarming in the world that we are living today. Guys have built capacity. But it is very clear that there are still people who are not emerging to their full potential, who are not even, they still not succeed. They build capacity, but they never evolve. What causes such a thing to happen? I've been too consistent in going to the gym, but you never see any outcome. What results to such a case happening? Maybe I can just throw it to all of you so that we can interject.
You have you have been consistent in doing something, and you feel like you've not really achieved what you really wanted.
I can't be able to see the outcome. It is not coming. I've been too consistent, a lot of diligence in what I'm doing. I have very clear core values, but I still can't see the outcome of what I want.
From my teaching experience,
Yes.
And even from school, when I was still a student, I realized we can all put in the same effort, but we can never all get the same results. Because we all have different abilities, and we all have different capacities again, in this sense. Let me start maybe when I was in school. I remember there was this boy who was Index 2, who was very determined to beat Index 1. I went to a day school. for my secondary school. And so the Index 2 requested the principal to give him a room somewhere in school so that he would board, with the sole purpose of beating Index 1. You understand?
That's interesting. Okay.
And he only beat him, I think, twice.
Yeah.
One, I think, in term 1 of Form 4, and the other one in KCSE. And even in KCSE, it was not a clean game. Those who have been around in Kenya, you know what I'm talking about. It was not a clean game. So, you see, even the reason why you are doing what you are doing is very key. And that's why, by the way, self-awareness, again, very important. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Is it simply to for example, when I go to social media, and I want to be an influencer, then what? What is the underlying reason for this desire? Somebody the other day challenged me and asked me, in what you do, what is the eternal value?
Yeah.
And I think for me that is the real awakening.
Yeah.
What is the eternal value? Because as humans, whether we know it or not, we serve an eternal value. We were not just created to make money, then what? So you become the richest, then what? And that's why you see the richest people in the world, since the days of the Rockefellers, they got to that point of what I'd call saturation, and there was a mad rush to dispose their wealth. And that's how foundations came into the world. You know, people competing to give the most, because you've amassed, and then you realize, when King Solomon was old and saying vanity, vanity. So sometimes people feel underachieved simply because of the wrong motive. I think that's the biggest problem. Because then what? You get 1 million views, 1 million followers, then what?
And maybe on the same, why is it that guys have got much intellect, much, quite a lot in the mind that is able to fuel them to get to what we are talking about, but we still fail. The question is, can I still excel without building my capacity?
How?
Are there guys who are excelling without building their capacity?
How? They build capacity in something. There has to be something that made them excel.
I remember in campus, there's a time we read about free riding. Can you free ride in a certain way, and you realize by the end of the day you have achieved and you've not made any effort?
And how many people can actually successfully free ride? It's also capacity. Even people that make it in very crooked means, they build the capacity in their crookedness. So you can't run away. You can't run away.
Whichever way it is, you must build
when
capacity.
Guys are busy transferring money from KRA to their accounts, they build capacity. When those young men, 3 men, you remember them, the ones from JKUAT, who dug a hole and came up under the KCB Bank. My friend, capacity. It's not just watching Prison Break and then you think you can do it. You do some math. So regardless,
I've seen another in the news. There is a certain guy was hacked the systems of the government and claimed himself to be an MP.
And he's actually earning a salary.
Yeah, like
capacity.
We also have a guy who built a imaginary school and he was getting supplies from the government
Capacity.
for quite some years.
And by the way, sometimes we think that those guys, we dismiss them easily,
Yeah, yeah.
but there's a lot of brain that goes behind those people. If we can only harness it to the right direction, a lot of brain.
So that means it's like a consistency in the purpose towards the goal that you want to achieve.
You sleep, you wake up, it's the only thing. It's the drive.
Yeah. Wow.
I think, again, probably you are asking, can people get themselves to a place of success without much accumulation of muscles, knowledge? To some extent, yes, you might find yourself. Probably when you get inheritance, you're just nobody, and all of a sudden you get something from your parent, which probably is passed on. But again, to sustain it, you need capacity. Otherwise, it will just fly away from your hands if you don't have the muscles to sustain it within where it's supposed to be. Otherwise, we have seen people get inheritance, and within a few days, they are worse than the way they were. So, getting to a place of success and a sustained success, then capacity is very necessary. Yeah.
You see, now I've just recalled something. I understand that, Isaac, you are a singer, like you are a worship leader in church. What is making you to be too outstanding in that area of ministry? And what have you done that is different with some other people?
I think it's the foundation.
Yeah.
It's very key, because the foundation will keep you standing. How deep you go down, it will...
that is capacity. How deep you go down.
The deep now, it's capacity. Because again, I'm a worship leader. That means I have to build capacity on my spirituality. Number two, on the knowledge of what I'm doing. If it's music, I need to learn the songs. I need to learn the voices. I need to know how to work with the band.
You have to become self-aware. Like
self-aware. That's not how I began. I realized first I know I can sing. And now after that, I did not just sit and wait. I'll be singing when opportunity comes.
Then you began to, it's like now you began to discover yourself, self-discovery process.
I discovered first. Then I began to bring on board what is needed to better what I have. So I had to go, I've not gone to a school, but I have sat with people who are better than me. They have mentored me. They have coached me in so many things. I have played with the bands that are advanced musically. And out of that, I am better than who I was 5 years ago. Because I have been able to build what we are calling capacity today.
Consistently.
Yeah, so that one can sustain me. It's not like anybody who has just found himself, yes, I have a talent, and they have not worked on it. It's untamed talent that it cannot stand on its own, because it does not have roots to stand.
So now, Isaac, even as we come to the closure, now there are so many people who are watching you, and some want to become like you, some want to excel in different areas. In your final remarks, as you address this camera, if you can talk to this person and to that parent, and be able to release. There's a scripture that we were just looking some times ago, that we see the earnest expectation of the creation is awaiting the revealing of the sons of God. So how can you talk to that person, and how can I reveal myself to be of impact? As you address the camera in a few seconds.
Thank you. I don't think whether we are revealing ourselves, but it's God who is revealing us. We are sons of God. Our work is to build ourselves. And God does not just reveal anybody. I know for those of us who have been on the camera and videos, and probably the editors don't just bring the raw content to the audience, but they edit to get what is the best. So it may come a clip of 5 to 10 minutes. But probably the shooting was more than probably
Even
2 hours.
now, yeah.
But they had to get rid of the unwanted bits so that they may remain with what they feel is very important
Yeah.
for the consumption of the viewers. And so God is the same. God does not want to reveal anybody. He needs to be sure that whatever he releases to the world will bring glory to himself. So why should he expect to be revealed while you are in your raw state? So there are things that need to be gotten out of you so that God can be pleased. I know hii nikimpeleka pale heshima na utukufu. Si kutoa tu kitu because hana mwingine, but you have to build yourself until to get to a point where that is my son with whom I'm well pleased with. That do not just come. But there was a testing. The same when you go to Genesis, you will find before God said, I talked about Abraham and said, now I will bless you. I know you love me. That is Genesis 22. It was after a test. And it was not the first test. The first one was leave your people. And there are so many other series of testing. Until it got to a point where God now is able to say, now I know you love me. What was the meaning of that? Now you can represent me. And that was the same word when was Jesus, when Luke and also, Luke and John, the gospel. When God was introducing his son, saying, this is my son. Listen to him. He can represent me. Wherever he is, that's where I am. So it does not just happen. But you must get to a level where the heavens can trust you. You must get to a level where your boss can trust you with a more responsibility. If you fail today, how do you expect to be promoted tomorrow? So you need to build, and I always say, trust is not given. Trust is earned. Can you promote yourself? Can you grow yourself, develop yourself? Until when I give you a responsibility, I do not fear. I can go and know that this thing or this assignment will be done at its best. And we're going to get the best because out of this company. So grow yourself and the promotion comes by itself.
Wow, thank you so much, Isaac. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know you guys have got great content within yourselves and that we may not be able to expound everything. So, I know, Martin, you still have something that you want to tell that listener, that somebody who is watching. And just in a few seconds, if you can just release it to that person who is watching and give your final remarks even as you come to the closure of the show.
Today I want to be very brief. And in the course of this discussion, I remembered something that we were taught in a certain training, and it was abbreviated as FAT. An acronym that I think for me has remained very key. FAT, where F stands for faithfulness, A stands for availability, and T stands for teachability. And teachability was mentioned by Isaac. These are I think for me, very important components for anyone under the sun. That you have to be faithful in whatever you find your hands to do. You have to be available, either for training, for guidance, even just showing up. You know, that is part of building capacity. And then number 3, you have to be teachable. There's nothing worse than a teacher who has a class that has switched off. They just decided you are never going to listen to anything from this teacher. And I think in the course of our schooling you found that that same subject, same topic, maybe that you find very challenging, but with a different teacher you perform better, you understand more. But with a different one, it's an aspect of teachability. So let us all strive to be fat. Fat, not fat. Fat. Faithful, available, and teachable. And to underscore all this, let us always ask ourselves, what is the eternal value of what I am doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Once you remain guided by that, regardless of the challenges, regardless of the slippery parts that might come your way, you are assured of a fulfillment that cannot be given by anything or anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Because success sometimes is a mirage. We simply misrepresent what success is.
Yeah.
And somebody once said, success is simply if you are healthy and you are happy. Anything else is an addition. But those are the basics of success.
Yes. Wow. If you are healthy, if you are happy, Martin has said those are the basics of success. May you yearn to be faithful, to be teachable, and to be available. Those are very great yardsticks in even getting to that utmost level that you are desiring to go. So thank you so much. I know you've acquired quite a lot today. It has been an interesting discussion, and this is something, if you just get the points very well, it is something that is going to fuel you, that is going to empower you, that is going to release the potential that God has deposited in you, and you are going to excel so well. It has been JM Talk Forum, where we bring these great ideas, this great value from Mombasa, from Kenya, in Africa, to the utmost parts of the world. So thank you so much for remaining tuned in. I was your host, Laban, and my panelist today was Martin and Isaac, and even to the men who have been behind the scenes. We appreciate your time, even finding this time to watch. And God bless you so much. We desire to see you next time. Let's meet again next week on Monday, 8 p.m. God bless you. Bye-bye. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
It's been a great pleasure.
It is out of
It's been a great pleasure.
You dress
We shall see you again very soon.
you talk like you think. Out of what is
Wow.
inside here,
Been a
the
great
fullness within here, that's what the mouth speaks. So, what you have in your head, you behave like that.
Man.
What do you understand by social media?
Yeah, social media, it's a platform. It's a connecting platform.
All right.
Just as the word goes, social media. It's a platform for mostly socializing. It's a media of exchanging information.
To be
So you just-
inspired, be ready to be transformed, be ready to get something great, something that is going to change you. Be ready to receive a word for you.